Okay, here we go. All right, so we are doing a mock buyer consult, myself and Carly, and we're just going to go through the new slides of the buyer presentation. We're going to keep it very basic, and if she has like general questions, we can go over them. But yeah, this is going to be the new buyer presentation. So let's do it. Okay. So Carly, welcome to the Search7cities family. We are super excited that you reached out to us. We're just going to go over a quick presentation, just break down the buyer consult, what it looks like, and get you into a new home. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. So I don't know how to use Eric's computer. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today and our quick little PowerPoint. There's three main things that we definitely want to cover. It's your motivation, your timing, and your overall goals. Those are going to be extremely important to help me understand to get you from where you are now renting or living with your parents to purchasing a home. And I want to make sure I take the best care of you. The next three things are why work with a team, understanding the home buyer process, and how we can start your journey. So let's talk about your motivation.
So I'm currently renting and I'm just tired of paying my landlord's mortgage instead of my own. So
Yeah, I get it. Okay, awesome. So timing, when is your lease up?
it is up in February.
Okay, great. Now is actually a great time to start looking at a home. And so if we want to get approved, we can definitely start you on that process of starting to look now, or if you want to wait a little bit, we can do that. Can your lease be broken?
Due to my boyfriend being in the military? Yes.
Great. Okay. So it sounds like you guys, if you found the place, you guys would be willing to write a contract, move out of your current place, break that lease, and find a home.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Let's talk about you and your boyfriend's goals. What are your overall goals?
Well, we'd like to have our own place so we can start building equity, and potentially rent it out in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much
Nice. So you want to have that investment property. So maybe looking for something like a townhome or a condo, apartment style living.
yeah, something that might appeal to other military families in the future.
That is great. I love that, building a legacy. And you guys are so young, so that's awesome. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my team and myself. I can explain that a little bit further. Actually, let's just go ahead and check it out. Oops. Okay, so why working with a team matters, with your motivation, your timing, and your goals. Myself as the lead agent and my team can really help you get there as smooth and as easily as possible. So I'll be your main point of contact. We also work with a showing agent that works to fit your schedule. So we never want seeing a home to be an inconvenience for you. We want to make sure as soon as you're available and you're ready to see a place that we can get you into that home ASAP. Another thing that's great about working with a team is we have admin support. So you're going to hear a lot from our admin. She's called our transaction coordinator, also known as TC. Her name is Angie. She is our fiery redhead on the team, and she'll be sending you all the documents to sign. She'll also make sure that we're on time for turning on utilities or ordering appraisal, things like that. And then also we have partnered with a lot of great local lenders in our area. So you don't have to go around interviewing a bunch of lenders. We've already done that for you, and we've picked three great ones that will definitely fit your needs. So those are just some of the benefits of working with a team. Okay, so this is our home buying journey. How much do you guys know about purchasing a home?
Not much. We'll be first-time home buyers.
Nice. Okay, awesome. So this is basically our journey from finding your home to you owning the home. Typically takes about 30 days, 30 to 45. If we need to extend that, we can. And if you would like to minimize that, all you have to do is just turn in the your documents to your lender sooner rather than later. And maybe we can do like a 20, 25, 28-day close. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So how we start is we're going to look at homes. That's basically how we find your home. We'll send you an email. We'll also send you some apps, but this email will have a bunch of homes that fit your criteria. And that's how we basically find your home. It'll be through the MLS.
Okay.
Once we find your home, we're going to submit and negotiate an offer. Have you ever watched like HGTV or things like that?
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. So we do have to submit an offer and negotiate it before we can purchase the home.
Okay.
Once that offer is accepted by the seller, we call that going under contract or a ratified contract. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, great. So once the seller accepts our offer, we're going to do a few things. The first thing is submit an earnest money deposit, also known as an EMD. This will be given back to you at closing, and it's typically anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 or 1% of the purchase price. We do that to just show good faith to the seller, like, hey, we are serious about purchasing this home. And it'll be held in our firm's escrow account. So like I said, you'll get it back at closing, but it'll go towards either your down payment or closing costs.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
What if I'm using the VA loan? Do I still have to pay for it?
That's a great question. Yes, every buyer has to submit some type of earnest money deposit. It just depends on the amount that you guys are comfortable with.
Okay.
Depending on how competitive the situation is or the price of the home, I do recommend around $1,000.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to order your home inspection and your termite and moisture inspection. So once we go under contract, we typically do this within the first 2 days. We'll take care of sending you a link so you can deposit your earnest money deposit, no problem. We'll also go ahead and set up your home inspection. Sometimes the seller orders the termite and moisture, and if they don't, like I said, we'll take care of it for you. We've got great vendors in the area that we know and trust that have actually inspected all of our homes that we have purchased. The home inspection is an upfront cost. It's typically going to be around $400 to $500. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, awesome. You'll get a full report of the home inspection. It's typically around 60 pages, but don't get overwhelmed. Our home inspector really does a great job of breaking down how to maintain your home, how to take care of your home. And so it's really great for first-time home buyers. And you can keep that. Also, he provides like warranties and some other benefits as well, but they'll explain that to you when you guys meet. The termite and moisture, if you pay for that, it's $85. Sometimes the seller pays for that, but that is paid for at closing, so it won't be an upfront cost. Any questions on that?
Are both of those things required?
Great question. So the home inspection is not required, but we do recommend it. It just gives you the ins and outs of your home, and you learn about your home before moving in. So let's say the HVAC is on its last legs. If it is and it's still working, but it still makes you a little bit nervous, we can ask the seller to provide a home warranty. If they say no, then you can provide a home warranty for yourself. The termite and moisture, it is required, especially for the VA. So we have to have a clear letter before moving forward.
Okay.
If it's unclear, the seller is actually responsible to fix up to 1% of the purchase price of anything found underneath the home.
Okay.
Yeah. Great question. Any other questions?
No, that's all.
Okay, great. So once we have those inspections and they come back, if the seller's willing to make repairs, great. If not, and there's some big red flags and you guys aren't willing to move forward, if we're still in that contingency period, we can back out of the contract and we'll negotiate your earnest money deposit back. Same with the termite moisture. If something's like seriously wrong, seller's not willing to fix it, we can back out of the contract. But if everything is good, we got green lights, we're going to move forward and give the lender permission to order your appraisal. That's also going to be an upfront out-of-pocket expense around $500. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So with the earnest money deposit, our home inspection and our appraisal, we're looking around $2,000 upfront within that first week. You're good
Okay.
with that?
Yep.
Okay. Next we are going to have the condo. If you purchase a home that has like some kind of association or things like that, you will receive documents to look over. We'll have 3 days to review those. If you have any questions, we can go over them. Are you interested in living in an association or not really?
Doesn't really make a difference to me. I'm open to it.
Okay. Especially with kind of what you've explained you're looking for. It may appear that we're gonna have some documents to look over. Typically the only things that I've seen people back out of contracts with these associations is dog size or parking or little things like that.
Okay.
So if there's something that does bother you, we'll make sure to look over the documents and make sure it's not an issue. And also rentals, especially rentals. If you want to rent it out, sometimes there's like a certain percentage. So we'll make sure that those documents are covered.
Okay.
Again, if anything is wrong in those documents that you guys can't live with, we have a 3-day time period to back out of the contract and renegotiate your earnest money deposit. Any questions on that?
Does that have to be after the home inspection and the appraisal?
So unfortunately, we don't really have control on when those documents come in because the sellers order them. So when we list a home, our team, we will order the documents up front. So as soon as we go under contract, we'll send those documents to the buyer and they have 3 days to review them right up front. A lot of times, unfortunately, what we see is we don't get those documents until a few days before closing. I know.
Okay.
It does not make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as we have those documents in hand, you'll be able to review them.
Okay.
Yeah, so any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so the last 2 things before owning your home is we get to schedule a final walkthrough of the property, making sure that all the repairs and things like that were taken care of. And then we also set up your utilities. So what that means is we'll send you an email of the numbers you need to contact for your home to turn on lights, if there's gas, water, all of that, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of for that. Once we sign the final walkthrough, you get your utilities turned on, we'll go to the closing table and you are a homeowner.
Right.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so any questions about this process?
Nope.
Okay. All right, so this is how we submit an offer. I just kind of want to review this really fast. Over to the right, you'll see our multiple offer strategies. So we used to never tell our buyers how we win offers. Obviously, our main goal is to protect your pockets. We do know how to win and we know how to fight for your behalf, but this just shows you some of the things that we use that sellers are intrigued by. It doesn't always have to be offering more money or things like that. Like you'll see the first thing up top is pre-approval letter or who you pre-approve with. So like I said, we partnered with 3 local lenders. 2 of them have been in the business for over 18 years. And so they're well known in the area. So they've actually helped us win offers before just because of their name being on your contract. So that's just an example. So when we submit our offer, we take all of that into consideration, especially if there's multiple offers. If there's not multiple offers, we're not going to put all of our cards on the table up front. We're going to submit an offer that protects your pockets, benefits you guys, and also is enticing to the seller. So the seller can do 3 things. They can accept the offer, counter the offer, or reject the offer. If they counter the offer, not a big deal. We can counter back with the original offer or a different offer, or we can accept the seller's new terms. If the seller rejects the offer, we can always resubmit or just move on. So any questions on that?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, great. Okay, let's talk about your lender. I talked a little bit about ours and why they're important. If you have a local lender that you've already been approved with, great, you can use whoever you want. If you do not have a local lender, let's talk about that. So are you guys approved?
Yes.
Okay,
With Navy Fed, and
great.
they said that we can get a 2.5% interest rate. So
Great.
we really want to do Navy.
Okay, awesome. When did you guys get approved with them?
Last year.
Great. Awesome. So, a lot has changed. Have you guys spoken to them recently?
No.
Okay. So Travis, right? Okay, not Tristan. Travis, recently just came back from deployment, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming you guys got approved before
Yeah.
then. Okay. So with him being back, a lot has changed in the market. Unfortunately, rates have changed as well, and rates are something we cannot control. So I would recommend, if you want to reach back out to Navy Fed and get a new quote on your rate, that would be great. Another thing about having multiple lenders fight for your business is they have a 30-day window to look at your credit without it taking multiple hits. So let's say that we give you 2 of our lenders' contact information, you reach out to them and Navy Fed, you can get a wide array of just different options. One of our lenders, they are super diligent. They can definitely get you a quote within 24 hours of what your closing costs would look like, your monthly payment would look like. Navy Fed doesn't provide those numbers up front. They'd also let you know what your rate would be. And then if they're charging you to bring down your rate, they would also include that in your form. Navy Fed is just going to give you the best rate that they can without letting you know if you're being charged or not. So that's just something to keep in your mind moving forward. Also, when a seller sees Navy Fed on your contract, they're not going to be super excited. And one of the reasons is they're not going to be able to get a hold of Navy Fed if there's an appraisal issue or things like that, just because there's so many moving pieces when working with Navy Fed. They're a phenomenal bank. I'm sure you guys have a car loan with them, or do you guys bank with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal bank. They work great. They have great accounts, all of that. However, with the mortgage side, it is a little slower and it does take longer than 30 days to close, which is typically not ideal for sellers. Yeah. But I would love for you to talk with our lenders if you're open to that. I can give you 2 of them or all 3 of them if you guys are comfortable with that.
Does it cost money to get a quote from them?
No, it's free.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So after we're done meeting, I'll set you up with them. I'll start a group chat between the 3 of us and send you their information.
All right.
Okay, great. And it'll only be a benefit to you. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, we talked a little bit about upfront expenses, earnest money deposit, home inspection, and appraisal. Do you guys have any questions on those?
No.
Okay, great. So the last expenses I want to talk about are the closing table. With your type of loan, because you guys are using the VA, right? Okay, great. We will have to possibly cover closing costs. I would love for the seller to cover closing costs, but right now we're in a little bit of a market shift. And so what we're seeing is some closing costs may be covered or none at all. But closing costs is anywhere from 2 to 4%. Another great benefit of being VA and being a first-time homebuyer is there's so many grants. Our local lenders have all of the access to grants that you guys can use to benefit and save a little bit of money. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Another great thing about using the VA loan is that you guys will not have a down payment. So typically it's anywhere from 3 to 20%, but because you're VA, it's 0%. So pretty exciting stuff. Any questions about those expenses?
No, I'm curious about the grants, but I'll talk with the lenders.
Yeah, great. We try to stay in our lane with stuff like that. But when they explain them to you, if you do have any questions, you can always reach back out to them or give us a call.
Okay.
Because I've been a first-time home buyer. I used grants. It was awesome. The closing process. So like I said, 24 to 48 hours, we'll do a walkthrough of the property. We'll meet at the title company. We won't meet at the house to close. We'll meet at the title company, sign papers, you'll get keys, and then we'll send you a link to offer any reviews or a 5-star review. And if you have any referrals, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, we would love to work with them and help them just like we're helping you and Travis.
Okay.
These are the do's and don'ts of closing. Do's.
whenever your lender asks for a document, try to provide it as soon as you can. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, great. They're going to ask for bank statements, taxes, all of that. So make sure you provide that as soon as you can. Make regular payments on your rent. Just because we're looking for a home doesn't mean we can stop rent. Make sure that you make those payments. You're going to bring 2 forms of ID to closing, and then you're going to bring a cashier's check to close if you owe any money. The don'ts. If you want to buy any new furniture or maybe a new car, take out a loan, things like that, please, please, please contact your lender and make sure that it's okay before moving forward.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying make sure it's okay with your lender.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, moving large sums of money, spending things on credit. We want to make sure that your numbers don't fluctuate too much because it could affect your rate or what you qualify for and all that.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. And then last but not least, this is our promise to you. You should have seen a buyer broker agreement sent to you before we got on from actually our admin, Angie, who's the beautiful redhead in the back. Basically what it's saying is you are solely agreeing to work with myself and my team. If at any point you don't feel comfortable or you feel like I'm not doing a good job, we can have a conversation. But if you want to find somebody else to work with, we can rip up the contract and you can go somewhere else. It'll break my heart, but we want to make sure your experience is the best possible. So our promise to you is once you sign that buyer broker is to create an experience. We want to make sure you understand the home buying process. We also want to provide an unbelievable level of care, communication, and guidance throughout the whole process. And in return, we would love to continue to work with you because it sounds like you and Travis are trying to build legacy for you and your growing family. But also we want to work with your family and friends as well and provide that same level of care because that's our lifeline. So any questions on that?
No, that sounds good.
Okay,
Cool.
great. So let's go ahead and start checking out. It sounds like you guys already kind of know what you want. The only thing we don't really know is what we're approved for. So let's hop on the MLS and see what homes are out there right now. Sound good?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, awesome. The end. Okay, I think I'm still recording.
Yeah, okay. So there's like a